Hi, it's Corrine. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I'm sharing 3 cards with you using the Altenew Ditsy Flowers Layering Stencil. This is a beautiful all-over stencil, and all 3 of my cards are going to be A2 sized. So they're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 with a slightly smaller mat on top. The mat is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I pulled out some 80-pound hammer mill cardstock and some Simon Says Stamp positively saturated inks in Sky, Dusk, and Night. I also pulled for my greens cabbage, artichoke, and kale. So I'm going to set those aside. I pull out my Altenew grip mat. This is a 9 by 12 grip mat, and I do have it set on a glass mat with some sticker paper over the top of it just to keep the dust off. So I'll pull out my cardstock, my blending brushes, and my inks, and I will use the layering guide that comes with the stencil set to know which order that it goes in. So I have an array of blending brushes, and I'm using these mag ink trays from Glassboard Studios. Being that I'm working on a magnetic glass board, they're going to set on my glass board and not move, and that way I can ink blend without having to hold it with my other hand. So I'm pulling out these pieces of transparency sheets, and that's just going to help me to mask off different sections that I don't want to ink. And I don't have a lot of space to hold my stencils down, so I'm using my magnets, which actually hold on to that and help keep the stencils in place. So for an all-over background, the first layer, they are numbered and layered, so they're easy to follow. I do refer to my guide. I am pulling out Sky, and I'm using the Pink Fresh Studios 1-inch blending brush, giving it an entire wash of blue. And I'm doing these 2 panels different. So the panel on the left, the blues and the greens, this is meant to use several colors. Well, I mean, you can of course do it however you want, but I am going to use it in all blues and greens for the panel on the left. For this panel on the right, I'm going to use, again, Simon Says Stamp and some smaller blending brushes. I'm using guava, watermelon, and cherry. I will also use cabbage, artichoke, and kale for the greens. But what I'm doing differently with this panel on the right is instead of doing all the flowers on the stencils, I'm just choosing the large and the medium flowers to add to the entire background to give myself a completely different look than the stencils give. So again, referring to my guide, they recommend several colors, but like I said, I wanted, and I'll show you a piece where I do follow that. I didn't make a card out of it. I did just do the background. It had several colors, but I like the tone on tone colors. I like the light, medium, and the dark of the blue, and the same with the green. I thought this panel turned out really pretty. So again, I'm following the layering instructions, how they suggest on the card on the left. So you're gonna see different sizes of flowers, different sizes of leaves. The one on the right, I'm picking and choosing which flowers and where. I just wanted to give myself an all-over background. So if you're considering or have considered purchasing from Glassboard Studios, I do have a discount code down in the description box. Because of the rise in tariffs, they unfortunately have no choice but to raise their prices. The tariffs went up by 100%. If you go to their website, they do kind of explain this a little bit better, but they did give us a chance to let our viewers know that they're not raising their prices until May 1st of 2026. So if you have any orders that you have been thinking about placing, I would suggest you do that before May 1st and get the pricing that they currently offer, which they do a very reasonable pricing. And again, check out the discount code down in the description box. I love their products. I love all their products. And as you can see, I'm using those mag ink trays. Those are fantastic. Like I said, they kind of just stick right to the glass board, the magnetic glass board, and you can use them hands-free. They also have a little lip on them, or a little funnel tray, so you can use beads in them and pour them right back into your containers. So again, just referring to my guide on which layer goes where, and depending on what I'm doing, I'm sometimes using a larger brush just to get a wash of color down, and then I go back in with a medium or a smaller blending brush to get a little bit more concentrated colors. So doing the normal layers on the left, the panel on the right ended up being my favorite. And what I did with that is I just pulled out a separate leaf stamp that I had in my stash that had 2 layers to it. So it has a background and then the detailed layer. And for that, I just use cabbage and the darkest color kale, I believe. In between, I'm cleaning my stencils with some alcohol and a microfiber cloth. And this was fun to play with. Their guide shows that you can use, like I said, several different colors, and I did do a few panels like that, but it was a little too busy for me. So I personally liked keeping the blue and the green. I love blue and green. I might go back and do another panel that has blue leaves and like maybe orange flowers or yellow flowers. And here's where I pulled out this other stamp that I had in my stash, which I believe is a Hero Arts leaf stamp. So I just added leaves to where I wanted. I made sure to add some off of my panel. I do take my panel and use a Spellbinders nesting die to cut them out. Here I cut to showing you using the different colors recommended. So you can see that you can get multiple colors, and it is pretty. Like I said, I did not make a card out of that, but I did save it in case I want to. But again, the card on the right is just using the large and the medium flowers, and that ended up being my favorite. That is so pretty. So again, just going around adding leaves, just using an acrylic block. I made sure to go off of the page to make it look like a pattern. And then I am adding a few of the layers in the darker green, and then this leaf comes with a second layer, a detailed layer to it, so I'm going over that. So here are my 2 panels. I was super happy with how these turned out. I went ahead and ran them through with that Spellbinders die, which gives me a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 matting, so it's perfect for an A2 sized card. I did make my card bases out of 100-pound hammer mill. And I was looking through my Concord & 9th swatch cardstock. I decided that honeysuckle and dragon fruit just paired beautifully with the pink. So I'm going to make one card with honeysuckle and one with dragon fruit. Now I wanted to do a diagonal piece on this so I could get 2 cards out of this background panel. I happen to have this piece in my scraps stash, so I used that for one of the cards. I'm going to mark it off with a pencil, trim it, and now I have 2 pieces for the 2 different cards. It's a great way to stretch your ink blended panel. So here's my card base. I hold that down with a magnet. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, seeing if I was happy with it. Once I was happy with it, I'm going to flip it over and just use a little Scotch tape to hold it together while I adhere it to the card. For this card specifically, I'm going to give it a little bit of dimension by using some heavyweight 120-pound cardstock scraps that I have. I used 2 panels, glued them together with some Beacon Fabri-Tac, and then I wanted a little bit more dimension than that, so you'll see me add 2 more scraps that I had to the back of it. I gave that a little time to dry, adhered that to the front of my card base, and I wanted a strip of champagne foil cardstock. That's by Concord & 9th. just to divide between the colored cardstock and the pattern. I pulled out a Simon Says stamp die. It's the Warm Hugs, and again, I wanted to give it some dimension, so I added 2 layers behind it, and I chose to use the honeysuckle cardstock as well, just so if you saw it from the side, you didn't see the white on the honeysuckle. The white wouldn't have looked bad, but I thought the honeysuckle looked better. It just blended perfectly on the portion that covers the cardstock. So after I adhered those together, I gave them a little chance to dry. I'm using my reverse tweezers to help me kind of hold it, and a fine tip glue bottle. I'm using some Barely Art glue. And for this one, I just went ahead and kind of added it to the center. I also wanted to add a few of the Altenew Smoky Quartz cardstock. This is a really pretty glitter paper, and it pairs beautifully with the champagne foil cardstock by Concord & Ninth. So I used a few of those, again using my Glassboard Studios craft catchers, and they're easy to kind of lay out your pieces and funnel them back in. And that's using a Prima Circle confetti die. So here I used the same Spellbinders A2 nested die, cut out a panel of dragon fruit cardstock, and now once I kind of measure it with, or mark it rather, with that piece of layering guide, I can take it to my trimmer and trim it off. I just used a light pencil line to cut it. And this again will give me, it'll save the most I can on my cardstock. I did the same thing where I adhered them together with some Scotch tape. And for this one, I added some foam tape to the back since I had used all my thick cardstock scraps. I did the exact same thing with the gold foil cardstock going across the center. This one I stamped using a beautiful stamp that says "When Skies Are Gray," and I did it in Versamark. That way it just barely shows. Added the Warm Hugs a little bit higher on the panel, so it went over that dragon fruit, and then added a few more of those glitter cardstock circles. I felt like this panel, the one with the honeysuckle, needed just a little something else, so I'm using my white Signo gel pen and adding stitching lines around the entire panel of colored cardstock. Super happy with how these cards turned out. Here's a close-up look of that. And now for this blue card, I'm pulling out some Stampin' Up! Deco nested dies, and I also pulled out the Altenew Magnificent Magnolias and Simon Says Stamp Spindle Flowers. I put 2 flowers together. I used white cardstock but went over the very back layer with a very light layer of butter ink by Simon Says Stamp. Then I did a yellow piece of paper, and then I did the green layer for the top. I went ahead and cut out that center so I could use that center on another piece of, or another card. And as to not have a dip in my card, I did use just a piece of scrap cardstock to make it one level so it's flush in the center there. So that's what you see with the white. I'm adhering that down, adhering 2 more pieces behind my main piece, which is Blueberry cardstock by Concord & Ninth. That's going to give me just a little bit of dimension, give that a chance to dry. And I did stamp out this gorgeous sentiment with using some cabbage ink, added 2 layers of white behind it. And now I'm just kind of laying out my flowers, deciding where I want them. Once I was happy with those, I went ahead and glued those directly down. Cut off the stems. The stems are that, actually I think I used pistachio cardstock. Any green would look pretty on that. So once I gave those a chance to dry, I cut off the stems, added my sentiment, and I needed to add a small foam square to the right side. I was trying to decide which type of gems to add to this. I ended up going with some Concord & Ninth white enamel dots, added a few around the sentiment and a few around the flowers. I'm just using my Cricut scraper to kind of pull those off the sheet and adhere them down, being that they're self-adhesive. So that is all 3 of my cards. Here's another close look. I love the glitter paper, and these were really fun to put together. I hope you enjoyed the process. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. And I hope you consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.